Hello and welcome to this generational occasion, the largest derby in the Marl's history. HugeHughes FC versus Crystal Parkin. Now I'm sure many of you are excited to watch this spectacle of a game, but before we get there, let's get a bit of backstory behind how we got to this moment. It all started with a text from my girlfriend. Well, what do I want to do on my birthday? A question, given the time, gave me 2 months to ponder on. The real question being, should I do something other than drinking for the sake of getting drunk? Or follow the continuity of the occasion? A few days after, me and a couple of friends found ourselves in Geneva on one of the voucher mystery holidays, where I was able to pick their brains on what I thought would be a good idea. At first, it was a mix of opinion between a few ideas, but Reg and Andy soon notably championed one suggestion: a game of football. Now, I'm a very keen and avid football fan, but my footballing ability is pretty below par. Not only that, but my fitness wasn't great. As you see, from a diet of heart problems, Pepsi Max and food from work, my cardio wasn't improving. But my beer intake improved, so that's a plus. So to make it fair, I needed to pick someone against me that was of a similar skill level, which is easier said than done. Who could I possibly find to match my ability? Cue Tom Parkin. We basically match stride for stride. He's 6'5", I'm 6'1". He's quick, handsome, tall, a future doctor. I'm tall. His fitness is well taken care of. He plays in a basketball team. He juggles his life around expertly at his age. He works, he plays, he has a girlfriend, he goes to uni. My chest hurts if I work too long on a weekend. It's a perfect match. So me and Tommy P, one quiet shift, got a list of names and decided to pick teams.
So tonight it'll turn wet gradually over Northern Ireland, but the more significant rain will be for Wales and southern parts of England. Some thunderstorms, frequent lightning, hail, gusty winds for some.
Any showers in the south which have developed through the day will linger on here as well, with the risk of thunder. We could see some heavy downpours.
Unfortunately, it was written in the stars to try and stop my event. The weather decided to be a bastard. A storm in a heatwave. Make it make sense. We were far too deep at this point. It didn't matter what the weather was. We would hope that it would stay sunny. Let's get on to the technicalities. Rules are simple. 9-a-side, roll-on, roll-off subs. Throw-ins, corners, and no offside. We're a trusting bunch, so self-officiating is the order of the day. Originally, we had a very special guest referee lined up, the legendary Lee Sheely. Legend has it, he was going to award drinks for every foul committed. Sadly, work intervened. So unfortunately, no drinks for fouls today. But hey, football's still on. We had 4 cameras rolling for this one. 2 rather shitty action cameras, my phone is the main camera, and a brand new camera that I chickened out of using last minute because of the impending storm. Thankfully the footage turned out alright, well, for the most part. That was until during our session we had some, how should I say it, a troop of tossers come and try and take our equipment, and in a fit of selfishness when they couldn't get their way, turned off one of the cameras. Unfortunately for us, it was the better camera. Joining me today on commentary is a very special guest. Fans of Welsh teen sci-fi dramas may recognise him from his role in the S4C series Etopia. That is definitely not a niche introduction at all.
Oh, come on, Alice.
This man isn't an avid football fan, but I tell you what, he certainly has the enthusiasm for this event. So please, can we make him feel loved, as the hours that we spent sorting this out, line by line, in between his and my work schedule, was a game of endurance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incredibly talented Alia Gwyn-Jones.
Thank you, Tom. Now on to today's teams. We'll start with HugeHughes FC, who have opted for 3-4-1 formation. Hoping to keep a clean sheet, which I've never been able to do with his mother, it's Cameron Baines. Hoping to be the mitochondria in the powerhouse of the back 3, it's Joe Lockyer, Woody and Mikey. Moving forward to midfield, we have the captain himself, Tom HugeHughes, who will never miss a beat, but his heart sure will. Next to him, they might call him Little Lou, but he is an absolute tower of talent. It's Lewis Turner. Moving forward to our wingers, breaking news and breaking hearts of defenders left, right and centre, it's Todgers. The man works for Volvo, so he definitely knows how to shift through those gears. It's Toby Ramsden. And up front, need I say more, it's the milkman himself. It's Simpkins. Turning to HugeHughes' bench now. He's 5'8" with a bonk high. It's Dylan Jenkins. And the last substitution for HugeHughes FC, all 6'8" of this massive walking lamppost hoping to shed a light on the situation, it's Jake Topping. Turning to Crystal Parkin FC now, who have opted for a 3-3-2 formation. Hoping not to let any goals in seal in, it's Steve Groves. It's Leek by name, but let me tell you, it's not Leek by nature, it's Reg Leek. Remember, he's 6'5", not 6'3", that's the captain, that's our Tommy P. And hoping to keep all attack at bay, Turtle Bay that is, it's Josh Weston. He sees more than others do with his slactical vision, that's right, it's Lewis Slack. Don't leave him too close to that line or he'll snort it up, it's Andrew Benzina. And hoping to make a strong case for the midfield, it's Keir Niles. With the height, weight and style of Shmuel from the boy in striped pyjamas, but let me tell you, this boy will not run out of gas, it's Andy Marshall. And hoping to get more shots on goal than he does on the weekend, it's Scott Jones. Turning to the bench now. Known as a breakthrough midfielder, but his mother took it too far one day when she broke down the doors to his bedroom, it's GNT. And the least inbred thing to come out of East Anglia since... well, ever, it's Pete.
So there we have it. two star-studded lineups set to play in unpredictable conditions. Who will win? Who will stand out? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. All I can say is that the atmosphere is absolutely electric, by which I mean that there have been similar amounts of fans turn up to electric chair hearings. But that's beyond the point. I'm going to take you over to Alia Gwyn-Jones on commentary, just after the kickoff, as our camera ladies were too preoccupied eating poppadom sensations to film the kickoff. Over to you, Elle.
Scott to Weston. Weston with not many options here. The defence is clamping down hard on him. Passes it back to his own defence. Ball's a bit loose there. Reg to clear. Finds his man and the ball just goes out. Reg now trying to push up. Trying to find Lewis Slack there on a decent line through for him. Intercepted by Mikey. Bit of a scramble in the midfield now. And it goes headed from Toby to Lewis versus Scott. Well founded, well run. And Slack makes a tackle there straight to the ground, but well founded. Wins the ball over. What a tackle. Full commitment there. Turner now, turning quickly. Tries to find Hughes. Hughes to Todgers. Andy comes in, rips it away from both of them and just dribbles past Lewis and Tom. The defence asleep here. Crystal Parkin pushing up nicely here, and Woody just clears it for safety. Quick ball here. Scott finds the loose ball, tries to find his man, finds the captain. What can he do now? Parkin looking for a way through. Quick chip, and Woody just sends it out for clearance. What a defence there by HugeHughes FC. Benzina will take the ball in quickly here, hoping to make some impact. Parkin with a quick touch. Tries to pass the ball through, back to Andrew, and the ball is lost. Woody is now on the ball, trying to find his man. Crosses it to the milkman himself, but it's just too far, and it's easy takings for Diabito. To Scott, little 1-2 there. What can Scott do now? Pushing forward, trying to find his man. Lewis deflects it, back to Reg. Reg pushes up field. Good touch there from Slack. Carves to the defence to Scott. The 1-2 is available here, but Scott just decides to go for it and just comes short of goal there. What a strike. Benzina now with a ball with not the best of touches, but Turner with even a worse touch. Benzina's let loose on the HugeHughes defence and decides to send that ball. Let's have a look at the replay of that. Here we go, and yeah, that ball is being sent on a one-way trip to Australia. To pass the ball, loses it to Turner. Turner now to the captain Hughes. Hughes versus Benzina, tries to go around him, loses the ball, goes out. Be a throw-in for HugeHughes FC here. What can the captain do? Finds Turner, always a safe bet in this circumstance. Turner now sends Parkin the other way, trying to find his man. Passes it back to Mikey. What can Mikey do? Plenty of time here. Scott's on. Send Scott the other way. Let's have a look at that again. Mikey just sending Scott. They don't make it like that anymore. Headed by Benzina there. Touched by Hughes. Goes out by Andy. It'll be a HugeHughes throw in here. What can they do? Hughes passes the ball to Woody. Looks like this is going to be a move straight off the training ground here. Hughes is running downfield quite deep. Woody sends it. Can Hughes get a touch to it? Great idea, goes loose. Diabito to clear. And the counter is on. Mikey leaping like a salmon there. Scott charging the line, and Cameron. Oh, Cameron awarding a free kick there because he is out of the box. Let's have a look at this. Pressure's on and the keeper just fumbles it. The only 180 Cameron will be doing here is a 180 off the field if this carries on. A free kick here for Crystal Parkin. What can they do? Can they capitalise on this opportunity? Slack with a cheeky 1-2. Opts for a shoot. Woody gets in the way. The ball goes loose. Toby clears it. Joe and Hughes now charging down the captain. Tom Parkin looking for some cover here. HugeHughes still has the ball. Pressure's on. Milkman versus Reg. Can he capitalise? No, he can't. He's just too slow. And Steve clears the ball for safety for Crystal Parkin FC. Lockyer with a quick throw in. Dylan clears it downfield. Parkin now charging down. The ball finds Weston. What can he do here? The Milkman snatches it like Thatcher did from all those orphans. Tries to go for goal and like a Milkman, bottles it. Crystal Parkin now with a bit of breathing space. What can the goalkeeper do here? 9 minutes played here at Cardiff. Sends the ball to Benzina. Benzina stacks it on the floor. The ball goes loose, lands at Reg's feet, clears it. Ball now high in the air. Dylan with a lovely header to Toby. Little 1-2 there. Scott applying pressure on both players now. Toby to clear upfield. Scott and Dylan still having a battle here. Scott trying to find Kian, sends it back. Kian finds the ball. And Dylan with an interception. Quick throw in by HugeHughes here. Lovely flick by Toby over the head of Parkin there. Loops it into the edge of the box and it is collected calmly by the keeper. Turner now sends it deep. What a launch there from him. Parkin misplaces the header and Hughes now ushers the ball out to get a corner. First corner of the game here. Hughes tries to find somebody on the back post, nobody's there, and the ball just goes out. What a wasted opportunity there for HugeHughes FC. Benzina now finds Scott, heads it to Parkin. Parkin with the outside of his foot here finds Kian. What a lovely ball through. Kian now charging down. Dylan in hot pursuit kicks it out and ushers in a goal kick. Lovely defending there. Cameron to Woody to Dylan. Dylan tries to pass it. Tackled by Scott. Ball goes out. Throw in here for HugeHughes FC. Taken by Mikey, who uses the unorthodox style of harpooning Lewis's chest. Lewis now with pressure on from Slack. Tries to find his man. Back to Dylan. Dylan looking for options to Woody. Woody misses the ball and it goes in for another throw-in. Throw-in here for Crystal Parkin. Slack to Parkin. Parkin misses the ball. Here for Toby. Toby now with a counter possibility. Plays it to Simpkins down the line. Simpkins with acres of space. Reg charging him down. Just gets there in front of him. Throw-in for HugeHughes FC here. Lewis with back heel of his foot sends it into the midfield of Crystal Parkin. Instead, the midfield now charging down the line. What can defence here from HugeHughes do? Woody defends well, sends it back to Parkin. Parkin to Reg. Misses it. HugeHughes now with an opportunity to goal and Reg clears it. Turner now with the ball, looking for support, sees Mikey, sends it. Mikey misses the ball, but blocks Scott in the process. Lockyer sprawls for the ball now, pressure on from all sides, sends it to Hughes. Hughes versus Pete. Pete wins the ball, sends Hughes flying. It's a 5v1 versus Mikey here, and he wins the ball. Mikey now goes past Hughes, goes on his own. What can he do here? Passes the ball out and goes into the fence and sends it into the feet of Reg. What can Reg do here? Presses up a bit now. Chance for Crystal Parking here. Woody chips the ball down. Simpkins is there to collect. Plenty of time, but a man on charging down to him. Simpkins tries to pass it to Dylan. It's a bit of a loose ball here by both sides. Scott recollects. A chance now for Crystal Parking to put some dent in the HugeHughes defence. Finds Benzina. Slows the pace down now. Crosses it, but overcommits and overcooks it, and the ball goes out. Ball to Kian. A loose touch by him here. Lou collects. Weston clears. To Scott. Scott making an absolute nuisance of himself. Has a pop at Cameron, who's deflected off his knee. Woody now picking up the bits. Clears it into the Crystal Parkin half. Where's this ball going to land? To Reg now. Reg trying to recycle the ball to G&T. Assessing his options. A wayward pass now. To Slack. Slack pressing forward here. Finds Scott again. Scott sees the overlap, but Andrew just isn't there for him. The ball goes out. Kian to Slack, bit hard there. Toby collects, sends it to Turner. Turner having a beautiful dance with the entire midfield of Crystal Parkin. Back to Toby here, who chips it. Scott collects. Scott another chip. Charges down Dylan now. Pressure is on for HugeHughes FC. What does Dylan do? Chips his own keeper for safety. Risky move there. Let's have another look. Lewis Slack now with a corner. Jake collects. To Turner. Turner passes the ball in field, goes a bit loose. Benzina's there, causing a bit of trouble. Ball lands back at Turner's field. Hughes now down the left flank. Can they make the connection? Ball goes lovely over to him, but it's just slightly overcooked and it goes out. Kian now keeps the ball in, passes it back to Dylan. Dylan starts his run, trying to find his man. What can he do here? Dylan with a pass. It hasn't gone exactly how he wanted it. The ball goes loose. Lands at Weston's feet. What can he do? Weston whips it across his back line. Good scramble from the goalkeeper. Lands at Turner. Lands at Simpkins. Simpkins takes a shot. It's deflected. It goes back towards Toby here. Toby looking for a man. A good cross in. Hughes is available with a header. Can he score? And it's just gone wide. Joe miscontrols it from the throw in here. Slack piling on the pressure on the defence. What can they do here? The defence is switched off. Dylan's asleep. What can Slack do? He tries to go for the goal and it's just not the right angle there. Half a second more and that would have been a goal for Slack. The defence just caught sleeping. It's just not good enough. Jake with a throw in. Finds Woody, who finds Turner. Turner now trying to turn players left, right and centre. Finds Hughes. Hughes versus Slack here. Hughes sends Slacks the other way, turns it completely inside out, through ball here, takes a shot, and it just hits the netting. Well, somebody phone picks up because I have found inside out 4 for them there. Hughes sends Slack absolutely flying, creating the chance for goal, and it just goes a little bit wide, but what a play. Turner now, finding Hughes again on the left, causing havoc left, right and centre here. Toby is completely unmarked here. There's a chance here for HugeHughes. Hughes finds Toby and Toby sends it to space there. Houston, we have takeoff. Let's look at that again. A beautiful ball through by Hughes. Toby, again, completely unmarked by Crystal Parking defence. And it is booted into another galaxy. Now then, unfortunately, the cameraman fell asleep on this next one, but don't worry, we've got prime YouTube 2005 240 footage coming up for you. Ball goes out here. Reg to collect. Throws it to Steve, who loses composure. Jake charges a header in, and it's a goal for HugeHughes FC. Let's have a look at that again. From the throw-in, Jake just charging down the goalie. Lovely header in. Goalie had no chance there, just straight up on him. Dylan now with a throw-in, looking for his man. Finds Mikey. Mikey using all of his strength to battle Slack. Both of them hit the deck here. It's recollected by HugeHughes FC, who finds Toby. Toby now charging down, finds Turner. Turner with options here. Who can he find? Stretching the defence, tries to pass it to Simpkins. Parkin kicks out to safety. A crucial interception there. Slack now with a throw-in. Scott piling on the pressure here. It's a bit of a scramble at the moment. Crystal Parkin trying to find a way through, but HugeHughes applying the defence here. Again, the scramble continues. G&T now comes onto the ball. A bit of a battle here. Somehow, Turner wins the ball, passes it to Todgers now. Todgers applying the pressure down the line. A cheeky 1-2 here, back to Todgers again. Todgers still applying the pressure, going on his own, and Reg tackles it for a throw-in. Throw-in now, cleared by Scott. Andy with a beautiful touch there, and some lovely footwork by there. World class. Slack now driving deep, kicking the afterburners, scrambling the defence of HugeHughes FC. Woody now tackles the ball. Ball goes back to the feet of the captain here, Parkin, who threads a beautiful ball through, finds Andy, and it's a first-time chip over the head of the keeper and a goal. Let's have another look at that, everybody. Was that on his left foot? I think that was on his left foot. Let's have a look. It is! A right-footed player with a first touch, left-footed kick. That is amazing. You can see the HugeHughes captain in utter disbelief. Speaking of, he's the only defender that's picked him up here. But it's too late. The chip's glorious, the keeper's asleep, and it's just in. What a ball, what a finish. But the pass from the captain is absolutely glorious. Through the eye of the needle, that is threaded to perfection. And back to the kickoff now, to Dylan. Finds Woody. What can HugeHughes do there? Can they respond? To the captain now, to Hughes with space. Takes on Reg. Reg holds him up here. Still a battle going on. The ball finds Todgers. Bit of a loose touch there, and it's a deflection from Andy, and it'll be a throw-in. Mikey now with a throw-in. Finds Hughes, who finds Simpkins, passes it through. Simpkins completely open here. Can he score? And it just missed. Kicks it, and it just goes a bit wide. Let's have a look at that replay, which is brought to you by Night Vision, apparently. Again, Hughes finds Simpkins. He can get a goal here, but he just miskicks it, and it just bobbles into Steve's hands. Woody now trying to find Hughes. Finds Parkin instead. Parkin, lovely touch there. Now charging down. What can he do? Parkin to Slack. Slack now starting an attack here. What can he do? Again, charging down the defence here. Finds Andy. A lovely little 1-2 here with a beautiful back heel to allow Slack to continue his run. Threads into the corridor of uncertainty, and the HugeHughes defence scrambling by any means necessary to clear the ball. And it's a throw in here. Finds Slack. It's an absolute gem of a ball. Strikes it to Andy. Can lightning strike twice here? No, it can't. The ball just goes out. Let's have a look at the replay. Beautiful throw in. A gem of a ball once again by Slack. Finds Andy and just can't quite seem to control it this time. Joe now with a throw in. Finds Jake. Sends the ball high. Reg heads it. Mikey now on the ball. The sheer presence of Mikey alone deters Andy from that challenge. What can Mikey do here now? Plenty of space, plenty of time. Tries to find Turner. Lands at Slack's feet. The ball now finding its way to Crystal Parkin FC's captain. The captain charging up and sends the ball to the bottom of the net. It's 2-1 to Crystal Parkin. Let's look at that again, shall we? The captain, with plenty of space and time here, takes 2 steps, sends it to the bottom of the net, and the goalkeeper apparently doing his best impression of a ballerina there. Let's have another look. There he is, 1 foot over the other. That's a very pretty routine from the goalkeeper. Shame the ball couldn't stay out. Throw in now. Lands at Benzina's feet. It's now a foot race between Scott and Dylan. Scott now dribbling the defence of HugeHughes FC. What can be done here by Crystal Parkin? Is their third goal on? No, it's not, because Joe, the lock here, absolutely locks down the fence and keeps the ball safe. Dylan now with a throw-in. Finds Lewis, held up by Scott here. Lewis passes it back to Dylan. Goes across to Mikey. Finds Lockyer, and Lockyer just can't find the ball and just toe punts the air for some reason. Interesting choice. Lewis now trying to dribble out of the defence here. Finds Hughes. Hughes now looking down the line, kicks it. Doesn't quite make the man. The ball now goes a little bit loose, back in the possession of Crystal Parkin here. Hughes manages to win the ball. Passes it to Lou. Lewis now charging down. The ball's now deflected. Back to Hughes on the back post, and he just side foots it wide. What a shame. That was the last chance of the half there for HugeHughes FC. And that takes us to half-time here of this exciting match between HugeHughes FC and Crystal Parkin. At the half-time, Crystal Parkin leads 2-1, but it certainly has not been a boring half.
Now, if any of you have spoken to me in the last 8 or 9 months, you'll know that this project has taken over my life. A lot of the organisational factors before the game maybe took me a month, maybe a bit longer, maybe a month and a week, but that was in between work. So finding out the pitch, which took a long time to find, what time we could pick up the keys, how much it would cost, the equipment we needed, the balls, the bibs, the cones, the camera, which obviously didn't go well, trying to make sure the weather was good, which again, last minute sort of kicked our ass. Everything in between was a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. And then on top of it, you have the aftermath, so the processing power that my laptop doesn't possess to try and render constantly small bits. My Sony Vegas Pro just would freeze on me constantly, breaking things. It meant I had to save constantly. I'd have to slow down the process. A lot of the times it would be after work on like a Friday or a Saturday where I'd be home at like 3 in the morning and do like an hour of editing, which would be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, which was just because it was so slow. What I'm going to do, because there will be another game this year in May, I'm going to set up a GoFundMe. You don't have to put any money toward it because I will be paying it regardless. We know how it works. I'm very comfortable doing that. It's just I want to give people the option. I had a lot of offers last year. I didn't take them up because, again, I didn't think it would happen more than once. But thankfully, the aftermath of the entire game was very positive. So if anyone does want to, there will be a link in the description of the video. All of the proceeds are obviously going into the game, so I would suggest only people playing donate. Otherwise, just wasting your money.
Hey guys, I need you to go fund me.
Couple of quick stats for you at half time. In terms of ball retention, so that's loose touches, passes completed, ball returning after an interception, throw-ins, corners, Crystal Parkin have a whopping 76% ball retention rate, which means that they're styling themselves after the real Crystal Palace. They're trying to play as professionally as possible, keeping the ball in high areas of the pitch and making sure that they get the ball back as quickly as possible. Whereas HugeHughes FC are only able to keep the ball just over half the time they have possession. This also goes hand in hand with the incompleted passes stat, which is 38 misplaced passes from HugeHughes FC. It really does show you where the possession lies. You can tell the defence are absolutely working their asses off with 24 tackles and 30 interceptions, considering how much of a threat Scott has been sprinting in a straight line. That will be it for my halftime analysis, so let's get you back into hopefully an action-packed half. Over to you, Alia Gwyn-Jones.
Scott now with the ball, trying to play a through ball there to Andy. Woody clears it, sends it downfield, deep now. Cameron with his first touch of the ball here. What can he do? What opportunities can he create for HugeHughes? Not a lot, as Weston's cleared it back down the field. Scott again with a touch, finds Slack. Slack now pressing a lovely 1-2 there by Scott and Slack. Lockyer making an absolute nuisance of himself there and gets the ball to go out. Good defending by Lockyer, really coming alive so far. The quick throw in by Crystal Parkin here. Slack and Scott linking up once again, looking for their options. What can they do here? Not much. The ball goes loose. It's a bit of a scramble now in the midfield. Everybody's clambering for it. Player goes down, but it's a play on by the ref. Hughes applying pressure to the keeper here. Well taken. Keeper tries to find the captain there with Parkin, but finds Toby instead. A battle between Parkin and Toby now. Parkin trying to secure the ball, passes it back to Scott. Scott with plenty of time and numbers here. What can he do? Takes his time, goes for a toe punt. Woody just about able to save it there. Thrown from Cameron here, who finds Todgers. Todgers finds the captain, finds Hughes. Pressure on now from Hughes from the Crystal Parkin captain. Ball goes loose. Re-won by Cameron, who goes to Toby. Toby takes the shot and he just side-foots it. It's a woeful attempt there. There was a great chance, but just not executed. Long ball now, back to Todgers. Fumbles the ball. Weston passes it back to the keeper. Keeper now, under pressure, decides to kick it out for safety. Todgers now, with a throw-in, finds the captain, finds Hughes. The defence now making a nuisance of themselves. Todgers nipping away at the Crystal Parkin defence. Back to Hughes' feet now. Hughes takes a shot, forces the keeper to make a save. Toby with a second attempt here. Again, deflected by Kian. Now lands at the feet of the Crystal Parkin captain. What can Tom do here? He's charging down the wing. The afterburners are kicking in. He's looking for a man. He's got Scott on the inside here. Plenty of options left and right. Finds Scott. Scott goes for a chip and it just goes wide. What a counter. Let's have another look at that. Scott just unable to get his bearings, but what a counter. Once again, proving the threat of Crystal Park. Slack now, trying to find Scott here. Deflected. Bit of a scramble on the ball. It's a lot of backwards and forwards here. Not really getting any possession as the ball just goes out. Slack to take the throw in. Decides to take it quick. Finds Benzina. A little touch from Mikey there just before. Ball goes wide towards Andy, who crosses it back to Slack. Tries to find his opposite wing and the ball just goes out there. Bit of lengthy time here. And who do we have in shot here? Ah, here we go. It's the two captains. Look at that. Some lovely sportsmanship. Scott now finds Slack. These two once again building up the attack. Finds Benzina. What can Benzina do here? He looks. He shoots. The ball goes wide. And by wide, I mean wider than his own nose. Let's have a look at the replay of this. Great attacking play by Scott and Slack again. I mean, they're so effective. We might as well just call them the SS. That's how effective the attack is. But Benzina whacks it as wide as he can. Crystal Parkin with the corner, taken by Slack. Punched away by Woody. It's a bit of a flounder now in the midfield. Ball's loose, finds its way to Scott. Scott once again linking up with Slack now. The attack proving to be highly effective. Slack to Andy, who's on the back post. Can he get his head to it? No, he just can't get the height. What an opportunity, though. It's cleared long. Finds Jake. Jake with a good chase there. Looking for options. Finds Cameron. Cameron now. Back to Jake. The two trying to link up there, not the best. Finds Hughes. Hughes looking at his options. Bats to Jake. Bit of a miss pass there. Jake again. Bats to Cameron. Cameron with a bit of a chip. Deflected off Parkin. Todgers with a slice and it just goes a bit wrong for him there. The keeper's easily collected it, sends it down long and hard down the field. Cleared by Lockyer, defending really well. There's like a White and Golo Kante in action. To Scott, back to Slack. These two again pressing the attack and Joe gets it out once again. Slack to collect and throw in. Slack straight to Scott. Scott tries to go for a shot and it's easily kept by Woody. Long ball now. Hughes as the last line of defence. Isolated. Clears. Lands at GNT with a volley off the chest of Mikey. Now back to Scott. Scott wildly misfires the ball there. Oh, what a chance. Let's have a look at the replay. Great opportunity off the chest of Mikey. And it just wildly misfires for him there. Unfortunate. Woody now to Cameron. Cameron with not the best of touches. Kia now just absolutely walks it away. Walks it away at goal. And it just goes away from him. There's no composure there. He has all the time in the world. There's no pressure on the attacker there. He just hooks it away. He should have done better. Scott now with the ball, with options to his left and right, trying to link up with Slack here. Slack now on the ball. Joe Lockyer chasing him down like a rabid dog. The Terminator's absolutely pounding down on Slack. He is doing anything he can to get that ball out. What character from Joe Lockyer. Kian with a throw-in. Joe Lockyer all over him like a rash there. Cameron to Lewis. Lewis dribbling all over the defence, looking for options here. Cameron did well to win the 50-50 there. Lewis still with the ball, looking for options. Back to Lockyer. Ball goes loose. Lands to Crystal Parkin here. Cameron now with the ball, tries to clear it, plays it safe and just gets the ball out. Now somehow finds Todgers, who passes it to Reg. Reg just instinctively clears the ball now. Parkin. Lockyer absolutely once again locking things down and getting that ball out. It'll be a throw-in for Crystal Parkin, taken quickly by Slack here to Scott once again, but goes to Lewis instead. Lewis now goes on a bit of a dribble here. What can he do? Pressing the attack. It's a 1v3. Lewis absolutely sends them. Finds Toby. What can he do? Cleared by Reg once again. That's the second clear there by Reg. Very well defended. Lands at Scott's feet. Once again, trying to find Slack. Slack is a wasteful switch there, and the ball just goes out. There was just no need. There was an opportunity for him there. Throw in here to Jake. It's deflected, goes out, so Jake will collect and throw it in himself. Jake now to Simpkins. Loses all momentum, unfortunately. There goes the attack. Ball goes loose. It's Kian versus Hughes. Hughes with a good tackle there and gets the ball out. It's a long ball forward here by Crystal Parkin to Simpkins. Can't quite clear it. Andy with a 1v1 here. Shoots. Woody bats it away. Owing to the feet of Slack. Slack with an attempt now. Batted away by Woody again. Back to Andy. Back to Slack. Joe Lockyer and Hughes putting their bodies on the line to clear the ball there. The ball's still alive, but they do well to get it out. Applause from the goalkeeper there, but the iron wall of Hughes and Lockyer proving too much for Crystal Parkin's amazing attack. But what a period of play there. It was really neck and neck stuff. And who do we have here? Well, no wonder, it's a future postcast winner. Ball now lands at Jake's feet, driving the attack for HugeHughes FC here. Finds Lewis. Lewis now on his own. 2v1 here. Versus Reg. Reg now bullies him out of play. A bit of the dark arts there by Crystal Parkin FC. It's going to be a corner for HugeHughes now. Here's the corner. Toby tries to get his head to it, but just can't quite guide it in. Good effort from him, though. Finds Scott. Scott now bulldozes the ball to Woody, who invites him back in instead. Scott takes another shot, and he misses. Woody absolutely composed there. Let's have another look at that replay. Scott absolutely hoofs it. Woody says, come have another go if you think you're hard enough. Scott absolutely does, but he just can't get through. Ooh, who do we have here? And a cheeky peck from Toby. Thank you very much, love. Woody now clears, finds Turner. Turner, lovely touch, trying to weave his magical web once again. What can he do? Mikey on support there for him. Passes it to Mikey. Not the best touch from Mikey. Loses it to Scott. Trying to make up for his mistake now. Scott versus Mikey. Scott passes it to Slack. Slack kicks it. It's an amazing save by Woody there. Hughes trying to clear it out. But what a wicked save from the keeper. Let's have another look at that. Shoot from Slack. And Woody does amazing to get his body there just to get the ball into safety. Could have been 3-1 there. Bit of a battle in the midfield now. The ball finds its way to Pete, to GNT. GNT linking up softly with Slack here. Slack looking for his man, finds Scott. Scott absolutely hoofs the ball. Gets nothing on target there for him. Woody now. Passes it to Dylan. Dylan. Back to the keeper. Keeper's ball. Keeper decides to dribble instead. He's out of his box. The attack scoops it up, poaches it off of him. Slack and Scott. Slack sees the keeper out of position. Scores! It's 3-1. Oh, what was he thinking there? Let's have a look at the replay. The attack once again of Slack and Scott proving too much. They rip the ball out of the keeper who's off his line. Slack sees the goal and just takes it. We have to question the keeper's thought process there. Kian now with Simpkins on him. Reg, no nonsense, decides to clear it. HugeHughes now with a throw in. It's got to be taken by Dylan. Dylan to Jake. Jake chests it back to Dylan. Dylan with a cheeky loop over the head. Bounces off the head of Jake to Lewis. Lewis with some astonishing control here. Finds the goal. Top bins! That's a goal out of nothing. That's a goal out of absolutely nothing. Lewis is ecstatic. Let's have a look at the replay of that because HugeHughes is back in the fight. They're back in the game. They take advantage here of a bit of a scrappy ball, the throw-in. Back to Dylan here, and he loops it beautifully over the head. Lewis using all of his world-class abilities just to send the ball to the top bins. Forget renewable energy. That man has a nuclear reactor for a strike. The restart now. Slack. Route ones it to the captain. Captain going alone. Todgers now miscontrols the ball, the captain pressuring down hard on him, but Lockyer will usher the ball out for a corner. Benzina now with a throw-in. Takes it long, it's transcontinental long. Mikey running up, charges it into empty space, lands at Todger's feet, pressure on now by the Crystal Parkin captain. Parkin wins the ball. What can he do? He decides to loop it into the box. It's a bit of chaos, lands at Scott's feet, and it's a goal! Crystal Parkin take the lead a bit further. They gain a bit of breathing space in this tight match, but let's have a look at the replay. What went wrong here? It's a clear miscommunication by the HugeHughes defence here, and it gains Crystal Parkin a bit of breathing space in this match and just lands at Scott's feet, who absolutely capitalises on the chaos. With a kickoff, Hughes to Lewis, who finds Dylan. Dylan goes long. The camera woman is asleep. She's had one too many. She can't keep up with the action. What's going on? And the ball's been ushered out. Turning out to take the corner. Ball goes at Slack. It's nearly an own goal for Slack. There could have been disaster for Crystal Parkin FC. Turner retakes it, hits the woodwork. Unfortunately, the ball goes loose, finds its way into the box of Crystal Parkin, and it's cleared by Slack. Scott charging down now. The counter is on, using all of his pace. It's Scott versus Woody. Woody manages to get in front, hits the ball off the chest of Scott to regain the ball. Woody now trying to pass it back downfield, gain a bit of possession here. Intercepted by Slack. Slack looking for his man here. Finds Scott once again. The 1-2 linking up beautifully here by these two attackers once again. Pressure's piling on by the defence here. Slack gains the ball. The captain of HugeHughes clears it back down. He finds Dylan, who finds Toby. It's end-to-end stuff here by both teams. To Mikey now. Finds Simpkins. Simpkins leaves the ball for Dylan, but Reg is there to collect. Reg looking for options now to keep the counter going. Todgers tackles Parkin and in doing so lets the ball go out. Brilliant bit of defending there. HugeHughes now. Lewis with the ball, dribbling past two defenders here. What can he do? Works some magic, finds Dylan. Dylan does well to keep the ball in the field of play here. Assessing his options, back to Lewis. Lewis linking up with Simpkins. Simpkins being squashed here by Scott and Slack. Scott gains the ball. The counter-attack is on again for Crystal Parkin here, so they're really dangerous here. Scott pressing down hard. The keeper's off his line, and it's a goal. It's a goal there. The camera couldn't quite keep up, but let's have a look at the replay and see what went on there. Here we go, Scott now with utter pace. The keeper comes way off his line and he just slides it in with an amazing pace and a tidy finish there from the attack of Crystal Parkin once again. Scott with his absolute classic celebration of wings as Crystal Parkin fly away now on the scoreboard. The restart vital for HugeHughes FC here. Lewis to Woody. Woody now assessing his options. Parkin in front. Woody beats Parkin. It's just him versus GNT now. Beats GNT. Thunders it towards the goal. A strike even Thatcher would be scared of there by Woody. Slack now with the ball. Lewis piling pressure. Sombreros it over the top of Slack there. Finds Mikey. Mikey finds Dylan. Dylan does well to take it on the turn there to the captain. Hughes now versus three of the Crystal Parkin defence. The ball goes loose. Reg clears it upfield. Mikey wins it unorthodoxly. Passes it back to Woody. Woody now sends it back into the mix. Bounces off the Australian's foot, who finds Lewis. Lewis now with pressure from the Australian. Waywardly passes it to Dylan, who taps it out for a throw-in. Slack now with a throw-in. Takes it deep. Finds the captain. The captain now passes it to Scott. Scott taking it back, reclaims it well. No pressure from the HugeHughes defence here, probably out of fear of a counter. Scott, plenty of time. What can he do here? Shoots, it's deflected off Toby, and the ball goes out. The captain now, looking to take the corner, assessing his options, decides to hoof it in. Off the head of Jake now, bounces to GNT. GNT sends it back into the box. To Lewis. Lewis now to HugeHughes FC's captain. Hughes looking for option. Second chance now, this is deflected off GNT, sends it down the line. Todge is there to support, but Kian kicks it out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for HugeHughes FC. Tom now running there, looking to capitalise on the counter-attack, takes throw-in quickly, finds Jake, bounces off his chest. Jake to Woody. Woody now beats his man. Lovely little 1-2 here by HugeHughes FC. Ball goes towards the keeper, but safely into their hands. Lewis now trying to break through. Trying to dribble, nothing there. Benzina with the counter, pressing forward. Hughes slides. Hughes misses. Benzina still going. Pressure from Mikey, and it's enough for Cam to clear it for a throw-in. Parkin with a throw-in. Finds Scott. Pressure on by Mikey. A good tackle. Lands at the feet of Benzina. Toby now piling the pressure on, and Toby will usher Benzina out for a goal kick. Cameron now to Mikey. Mikey strings it beautifully to the captain, who in turn has a fantastic back heel, who sends Todgers on his way. Todgers now versus Reg. Reg is going to beat him to the chase. Throw in to HugeHughes FC here. Headed away by Parkin. It's a battle between Lou and Scott. The ball is lost before being found by Woody, who passes it to Dylan, who appears to be playing musical statues. It's absolutely ripped off him by Scott. Scott one-on-one with a keeper here, but Scott seems to hit the only other player playing musical statue. The ball is absolutely cleared by Mikey for safety. Let's have a look at the replay of that. Scott clearly taking after his hero Oscar Pistorius here by shooting the person and not the gaping space behind them. Kian finds Slack. Slack finds Parkin. Joe straight to work versus the Crystal Parkin captain. Parkin hoofs it and it's the back of the net. It's a goal. It's 6-2. Let's have a look at the replay. Well, some goalkeepers have cat-like reflexes, but this one has cam-like reflexes. And Crystal Parkin go even further ahead in this match. HugeHughes FC now must be getting sick of these kickoffs. Lewis to Woody, who's wide on the wing, takes on his first man, beats him, but the ball's cleared by Scott and it'll be a corner kick. Lou swerves the ball in, but it's absolutely slapped out and it'll be a throw-in. Ball resting now on Mikey's feet. Tries to get past Scott. Doesn't succeed, but chases the ball down. However, this leads to some of the most unorganised passing and defending you'll see all day. The fatigue clearly setting in on both sides. The throw-in is taken quickly. Finds Woody. Woody somehow finds Parkin on the opposite team. The counter is on here for Crystal Parkin FC. Parkin passes it deep to Benzina. Benzina now pressing on, but the milkman is there and safely delivers the ball out. Corner now to the back post. Ball lands at Scott's feet. Scott to Parkin. Parkin back to Scott. Scott makes an absolute Columbine of it and the ball goes out. Goal kick now. The ball goes loose in the defence. Ball's now jetted up, lands on Joe's head here. He's trying to cover every single blade of grass, but miscommunication means the ball goes out for a throw-in. Jake now, with a well-controlled ball, finds Lewis on the flank. Lewis squeezes it to Woody, who pokes it to Todd, who makes an absolute flounder of it as the ball reaches the keeper's hands, who launches it. Mikey misses. Milkman's there for safety. He clears it out. Lewis versus Scott. Bit of roughhousery here, but it's all fun and games. Play continues as Mikey rolls it to Lewis. It's a rematch between him and Scott once again. Lewis absolutely sends Scott to another dimension, then turns back, assessing his options with plenty of time here. Lewis finds Toby out wide on the wing. Toby to Woody. Woody now tries to turn it himself, but in doing so turns his ankle instead and he's down on the floor in pain. Andy, assessing what he can do, finds Parkin again deep on the wing. Parkin pressing forward here, the defence pushing up. Joe like a rabid dog against him. Parkin trying to find the top bins, but instead finds Scott's best mate, the fence. Cameron's ball now. Decides to play it out from the back, which will cost him dearly because Scott capitalises. The ball's in the bottom of the net and it's 7-2 and it's a hat-trick to Scott. Probably the least impressive hat-trick you will ever see, but let's have a look at that replay. Cameron, just laying his entire guard down, decides to pass the ball to the opposite team, making it too easy for Scott to capitalise and just celebrates as he's won the World Cup. HugeHughes FC with yet another kickoff. Simpkins to Mikey, who simply can't handle the pressure of Parkin, so decides to play it safe and kick it out. Parkin with a throw-in to Kian. Kian takes his time, assesses his options. What's he going to do? He's going to pass it to Lockyear's what he's going to do. What a choice. Lockyear now finds Hughes. Hughes chops it away from Kian. Hughes finds Jake. Jake plays it to Lou, back on that wing again. Lou causing a bit of a scene here. What can he do? Assessing his options, sees the chance. The ball lands at Hughes' feet, misfires there, and Joe spoons the miss. Scott versus Joe here. Scott comes away with it, hits it off the leg of Simpkins. To Mikey. Mikey clears it upfield. To Lewis. Lewis now passes it to Jake. Jake passes the ball between Todgers and Tom. Lewis recuperates the ball. Bit of time here, bit of space to think. To Hughes. To Toby, some lovely interlinking play here by the Let's Be Avenue triangle, trying to see their options, taking their time, finding their space. Keeps on the passing. Lewis now looking for anybody on the back post. Can't see anybody. The ball goes off of Kian's knee as it goes out. Todgers to take the corner here for HugeHughes. Can they capitalise on this opportunity? Bit of panic in the box there by the captain. Todgers takes the corner and it's 7-3. HugeHughes are back in the game here. Let's have a look at the replay. The captain was causing all kinds of panic in the box there. Jake with a thunderbolt of a header brings HugeHughes back in the fight here. Mikey with another long ball to Hughes, who struggles to control it. Hughes, with a bit more time than he thinks, sends it to Simpkins wide. Simpkins with a peach of a ball that Todgers doesn't chase. The ball now in Steve's hands, who launches it deep again to the left wing to find Parkin. But Mikey is there this time. Unfortunately, Andy scoops it to safety. Throw in here by Hughes, finds Lewis, cheeky 1-2, Hughes' lanky legs just can't keep the ball in, so it's a throw into Crystal Parkin here. Scott to take. Direct ball here. It's a race between Andrew and between Toby. Andrew gets the better of him, positions himself, lovely, shoots, and he batters the fence instead. From the goal kick now, Cameron to Mikey. Mikey threads a beautiful ball through here to the milkman. Is there a chance here for HugeHughes FC? No, because Reg is all over him like a homeless person outside the vents of O'Neill's, small and big. No pressure being applied. He's got plenty of time to assess his options. No pressure at all, sends the ball down deep. Finds Parkin. A couple of loose touches here. Where's the ball going to land? It's going to land at the feet of Lewis Turner. Again, trying to mount the attack here, but Reg defiant once again. Joe now trying to relaunch another attack, but Crystal Parkin again just diffusing anything that HugeHughes FC throws at them. Well, they have to be more inventive in their attack, clearly. Joe tries to clear, but it bounces off Mikey. The ball now goes to Slack. There's no pressure on him. He's taking his time, strikes, but Cam sprawls out and clears it. Just does enough to get away there. The ball goes loose, lands at Mikey's feet, and he uses every part of his body to try and clear there. Jake now with his chest. Lovely little pass to Lou, trying to slow the pace down. Bit of tidy football here to Simpkins. Simpkins tries to go back to Jake, but Reg, that man is once again in the way, diffusing every threat. The ball lands at Lou's feet. Lou now puts Jake through on goal, but Reg is chasing him down, and he does enough to put Jake off, and it's an easy save for the diabetic. Slack now with the ball. A little bit of time, tries to find his man, passes the ball through to Parkin, but Hughes is chasing him down and he kicks it out for a corner. The corner is whipped in. Somehow HugeHughes gets his huge head in the way and it clears the ball for safety. G&T takes throwing quickly, finds Slack. Slack assessing his options. Passes it to Parkin, who's on the back post. Can't see an option through. Hits and hopes, and the ball goes out. The corner's taken low by Crystal Parkin FC here. Joe puts his body on the line. Cam puts his body on the line, and both do enough to get the ball out. It's another corner for Crystal Parkin, taken low again, deflected by Hughes. Weston arrives, does enough to keep the ball in field. Jake now passes it through. It's a loose touch there from Kian. It's now a foot race between Andy and Simpkins. Simpkins just doesn't have the legs. It's an easy clear for Steve, and it'll be a throw-in. Jake with a throw-in, sends it long, finds Todgers, who unfortunately just heads it into the hands of Steve. Mikey tackles Slack. Andy plays the ball through. It's a 3-on-1 here. Slack with options. Opts to shoot. Cam gets a big hand to it. Joe just can't get the ball out, clears it down. Slack again, finding Parkin now. Parkin opts to shoot. Cam saves and Hughes slides in there. The ball goes out for a corner. Parkin with the corner. Hughes again heads it down to safety. Mikey with the acrobatics. Scott decides to just absolutely cancel any build-up there. It'll be a throw-in for HugeHughes FC. Taken quickly by the Lighthouse now. Ball goes deep down the line. Woody, like an absolute bullet. The camerawoman can't keep up with him. Charging down the line. Whips it into the 6-yard box. Goes behind Simpkins but lands at Lou's feet. What can Lou do now? Lou trying to find Woody again, but it goes out. Scott dribbles out past his own defence here. Does well. Once again, linking up beautifully with Slack here. Beautiful ball. Slack does well to hold the ball up, waiting for Scott. Passes the ball. Scott taking all the time to set up. He shoots, but it's an easy save for Cameron. Scott clearly got his passing boots and not his striking boots there. Slack with a corner. Scott now having to make up for a very poor ball there. No pressure being applied on him just yet. Plenty of time to look around. Find his support. Finds the captain. A little 1-2 between them. Scott shoots first time, but it's blocked by Cameron. The ball lands at Slack's feet, but he can't get shot away, unfortunately. Lewis now trying to mount a late attack for HugeHughes FC here in the dying minute to Todgers. Todgers charging down the wing. Plenty of time here. Assesses his options now. Finds Simpkins. Simpkins back to Lewis. Lewis goes coast to coast. Finds Woody, who gets his head to it, but it's just not enough. Parkin now. passes the ball down the line, trying to find Slack. Huge, with a huge tackle there, the ball goes out. Slack, trying to keep momentum, takes the throw in. Mikey with a huge header, the ball goes out for a corner. Crystal Parkin with a corner, again it goes to Hughes. Joe with his quick response all over that ball. Finds Jake. Weston picks his pocket, to Reg. Reg now, to Andy. To G&T. Mikey sniffs out the mistake, gathers the ball, taking his time. Joe. Jake again, plenty of space. Down to the wing. Couple of deflections here down on the wing now. Lands at Lewis's feet. Lewis to Todge. Todges to Woody. Woody with a chance. Woody makes a right meal of it. Steve loops the ball beautifully towards the captain now, who uses all of his acceleration and momentum to try and get away. Fancies himself a shot, but Cam gets a huge hand to that ball. Last set piece of the game here. Parkin unmarked on the back post is a free header, and it's 8-3 with the last kick of the game there. And that is it, full time on the legendary first edition of the Marl Derby between HugeHughes FC and Crystal Parkin FC. A huge congratulations to Tom Parkin's team of warriors who went to war today and took no prisoners. And commiserations to HugeHughes FC, who will need a year of training by the looks of it if they're to be prepared for next year's game. Thanks to all of you for having me and suffering my voice. Thanks to the teams for providing a great game. I've been your commentator for this rambunctious event, the one and only Ayler Gwyn-Jones. I'll send you back to the birthday boy himself, Tom, for one last word for us to wrap this up.
Thanks, Egg. And thank you all for being so patient with this video. I know it might seem quite basic on the outside, but it has taken me days of my life to do this. Hours and hours and hours spent siphoning through videos, camera footage, recording with Elle, days we have on and off together, and I want to thank everyone who has supported throughout the last few months. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do now, and that's to say, I will see you all next year.
I did a try in every way to show every day she's my only one.
Thank fucking Christ.
And if my time
It is done. It is a project that's taken us far too long. Over 3 different productions.
Here's another one.
Thank the Lord.
Recording. Hello. If tomorrow never comes.